The Bible Treasury. A monthly magazine of papers on scriptural subjects. Article 33, Volume 3, 2nd edition, January 1861. Fragments. First edition, January, 1861 195. Miracles are called, in Hebrews 6, powers of the world to come, because they were samples and signs of that energy of the Son of Man which will be so wonderfully displayed in that day. 1861 223, in regard to God's dealings with man since the fall, or rather, the flood, there have been three great epochs: first, the period before Christ came, died, and rose; secondly, the present interval; and thirdly, the age, after he comes again. There were many subdivisions during the first period, when God tried man in unwearied patience, to see if good could be got from him. The cross of Christ closed this. Not that God did not know the result, but it was for his glory that man should be thoroughly put to the proof. The rejection of Christ was, in a very real and solemn sense, the world's judgment, its judgment morally, however God may delay the execution of it. Therefore is the believer, the Christian, said not to be of the world, as Christ is not, and is called to go out to meet the bridegroom. Fragments gathered up. Bible Treasury, Volume 3, 2nd edition, March 1861. First edition, March, 1861 240. All of one. Hebrews 2, Christ, and those set apart for God by the Spirit, are all one company, in the same position before God. It is not one and the same Father, else it could not be said, he is not ashamed to call them brethren, for he could not then do otherwise. Neither is the meaning exactly that he and others were of the same nature as mere children of Adam. It is only the sanctified, the children whom God has given him, that he calls his brethren. If it were simply a question of humanity, he shares it, of course, with all mankind, though not in the same state as any other, whether saint or sinner. Still, he and the sanctified are all in the same human nature, as it is before God, a position taken in resurrection. Then only, Psalm 22, did he so speak of them fully and properly. John 20. Irvingite doctrine is the error of identifying Christ with men, as such, with sinful humanity, and not with the sanctified. The church was called to be a witness for God. In the first of the apocalyptic assemblies, this had ceased to be for his glory. In the last of them, when the church has entirely lost its character as such, Christ, in the fullest way, presents himself, before taking the inheritance, and takes up the character which should have been maintained, that is, the Amen, the faithful and true witness. Then a total change follows. The throne of God is seen in heaven, Christ, as the slain lamb, is revealed as the object round whom all is clustered, and we are admitted to see the preparatory government, not of the churches, but of the world in view of the kingdom which Christ is about to introduce in power and glory. Christ, having suffered here below, is ascended to heaven, that he might fill all things. He came down in grace, he is gone up in righteousness, he will come in glory. Thus, while the church is being formed by the Holy Ghost's personal presence here below, the twofold truth comes fully out. The heavenly man, as such, takes his place above, and the earthly man is judged. Henceforth old things are passed away, all things are become new. J. N. Darby, adapted. Fragment. Bible Treasury, Volume 3, 2nd edition, May 1861. First edition, May, 1861 267. In Ephesians, though the Holy Ghost is about to enter upon the subject of the church, he does not touch upon it until, individually, the saints are apprised of the astonishing depth of their privileges. He never enters upon our future privileges until our present standing is settled. What is the inheritance? It is that which we shall be set over. But blessed as this is, it is far better to be set right as to that which is above us. The Lord will take care that we shall know where we are to be set, but God himself is better than all the glory. To know God, to be consciously near God, to be set at rest in the presence of God, to be happy with God, to know how much he loves and cares for us, is infinitely better than knowing all about Jews or Gentiles, or earth or heaven. We shall have a blessed place with Christ, we shall reign with him, but the kingdom itself, with all its blessedness and glory, is an inferior thing to the heart being really at ease and happy and at home with God. Fragments. Bible Treasury, Volume 3, 2nd edition, May 1861. First edition, May, 03 1861 270. Revelation 4. The saint in glory is glad that there should be something above himself there. He can strip himself of glory that the Lord should have it all. What a contrast to the spirit of infidelity in the heart. The saint can delight in the character and honor of God, in his worthiness to be exalted. Even here this is the instinct of divine life. Man is entirely changed here, for, according to his natural impulse, he would pull down God himself, if he did not suit him. The celebration of his power draws out the worship of the elders. Are we not glad to have crowns to lay at his feet? The scriptures are the permanent expression of God's mind and will, furnished as such with his authority. They are his expression of his own thoughts. Not only is the truth given in them by inspiration, but they are inspired, and are the standard by which every spoken word is to be judged. Does this perfect and supreme authority of the Scriptures set aside ministry? By no means. It is the foundation of ministry. One is a minister of the Word. J. N. Darby adapted. Bible Treasury, Volume 3, 2nd edition, August 1861. First edition, August, 03 1861 308. Christ on earth was the truth, as he is always. Truth exists before the Church of God. His word is truth, and faith in the truth gathers the Church by the Holy Ghost. But the Church maintains the truth, and when the Church is gone, men will fall into a strong delusion. That which is not the pillar and support of the truth is not the Church as God understands it. Fragments. Bible Treasury, Volume 3, 2nd edition, September 1861. First edition, September, 03 1861 333. Christian responsibility is founded on this, that God has delivered our souls, and that he means to have us with himself in heaven. Our conduct never flows from a pure and right spring, where it does not flow from the certainty of the favor of God, that has made us his own forever. The mere thought of duty, however just, will not stand the day of trial. In order to judge what the Church is, we must know, and be able to distinguish, the truth and the living God whose presence is there.